Hello, friends. This is episode 7,
I'm Debbie.
I'm
I'm
Ronnie.
Stephanie.
and I'm Lisa McIntyre. Welcome to Working Wonders. This week's topic is marketing.
We all
Anybody
have
want to go
something.
first?
I wanted to open actually with a funny story that happened to me today because I'm like, in some ways, I can't believe I didn't know. And on the other hand, I'm like, wow, I did something really cool. We got a call yesterday for delivery. The call came from Los Angeles, which I didn't think we get calls from all over the place, to deliver a balloon marquee for somebody's birthday, which I delivered today. And the person who ordered it, who was the assistant of the people who ordered it, called me and this afternoon and said, do you know when the delivery is going to be? I said, oh, I delivered it a few hours ago. She said, did you recognize who it was? And I said, should I have? And she said it was McDreamy. Now, I personally have never watched Grey's Anatomy, but I do know who McDreamy is because
Yeah.
who doesn't? And now that I look back, even with a mask, it was him. I looked at
Totally.
a picture online to like see him, and I'm so glad I didn't know because I would have totally like, can I have your autograph or something? And I also very wisely did not ask him to take a picture with my marquee because he would have thought I was like trying to,
Right.
use his fame, which I wouldn't have been because I didn't know who he was. But I called my
Right.
daughter-in-law and I got props from that. I'm now a very popular person. And anybody who wants to touch me at float, I will let you. These are the hands that delivered something to McDreamy and stood on his
So
porch,
funny.
which I'm not allowed
Patrick
to tell you where
Dempsey,
it is.
right. Patrick
So,
Dempsey, I think, is probably one of the best looking actors in Hollywood.
oh, even
Like,
with
I
the
think
mask on.
he was super good looking when he's younger. He's still incredibly good looking as, most men. Lucky for them. I feel like they get better looking with age. So yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites. I definitely would have fangirled. I would have known who it was instantly. I would have recognized him
It's that
instantly.
full head of like perfectly
wavy
done
hair.
hair.
Yes. Even
Yeah.
with the mask, he looked great. Anyways, I thought I'd share it with all you pals. And, like I
That's
said, anybody
exciting.
who wants
Do you
to
have any-
shake the hands that delivered to McDreamy, just
love it.
stand in line and I'll be
Right.
10
Do you have
cents.
any marketing tips for us to get clients like that?
Yeah.
This was just a lucky, she actually Googled us. I'm
Oh.
not such a marketing expert because first of all, when we started, we had such word of mouth business, and we still have most of our businesses word of mouth. There's like a group in one of the towns over, the TNET group, and I can't tell you how many times I get a call or a text or an email from someone. Somebody in the group asked for a balloon person. There were 15 responses, 14 of them were you. Or the person
Right.
will call me and she'll say, I asked, does anybody remember that balloon lady? And she says, I get 20 responses and it's all you. So we have luckily a very good word of mouth reputation. The actual only paid advertising that we do is something that I don't think is available necessarily to everybody. A lot of the schools around here are private schools, and they put out a private calendar every year. And on the upside of the calendar is advertisements. So we put a business card ad in 12 months of the year. Every time the parents flip to the next month or every other month, our ad is there, and the school encourages parents to use the people who support the school by advertising in the calendar. So I can't imagine that this neighborhood is the only place where private schools do that, but it's a couple $100 a year. We usually barter that for the first day of school decor, so it doesn't cost us anything out of pocket really.
Nice.
Right.
And 2 columns, and they and we pay for the ad, and it has been very successful for us, and the schools do support us, and even the schools themselves use us then because we're the balloon person who advertises in their calendar. So that's a lot of what we do. I am really I'm hoping I'm going to get some good tips from people. We're trying very hard now. We do more email blasts, which isn't paid per se, but like we use MailChimp, and I don't know if you're all aware, we just changed our logo. So for the new year, we sent out like an email blast with our new logo. It flipped from the old one to the new one, and wishing everybody a better 2021 than 2020. But and I'm getting more active on Facebook. I'm sort of learning from all the things I'm hearing all over the place, but
Right.
I'm far from being like a marketing expert because it's so different from when I started. Like I think Stephanie, you were, and Ron, all of you I think are just more up to date with the methods that are, good. The only thing we did is when we started Instagram, which at first I thought I would do, and now we have somebody who does it for us. I saw an exponential increase in our business. It was amazing how much of our business either comes from Instagram or is instigated by Instagram, which is kind of a cute little play on words. And
Right.
I have found that that's very successful for us, even though we don't advertise per se. But I'm all ears now to hear what somebody else might have to say.
Well,
and
that
one of the
being,
things that, like one of the things that we definitely like want to remind everybody of
Yeah.
is the fact that what we are talking about here is the things that we personally do in our businesses. We're not telling you that you have to do it this way. Your goals are going to be different than mine. Like my goals are different than Stephanie's and different from Debbie's and similar actually to Lisa's, I think. Like a little bit, yeah. And that's just because of that, because we are using entertainer and decor.
There's a bit
like,
overlap, yeah.
Yeah, like that overlap is definitely similar, but our marketing strategies are totally different. And I'm definitely going to say things that you're going to disagree with. So,
and you're the
That's a given, right?
So
well, let's
not
start
even
off
just
with the
TikTok. Yeah.
foundation.
Yeah.
We have to start off with the foundation of it. So there's a huge difference between marketing and advertising. Advertising is one small portion of what marketing is. So once you really understand the difference of those, then you can go forth and you can put together a marketing strategy. So marketing, when you're advertising, when we're talking about things like using Instagram, using TikTok, using Facebook, that's a form of advertising. And yes, it does play into your marketing, but marketing is a completely separate thing.
I'm going to take
notes. So when you sit down, so personally for me, we look at a week's worth of marketing. We do a week's, we go forth and do an entire year's worth of marketing for what we're going to do, and we plan out what our marketing strategy is going to do, but we specifically take it down to also that week. So what I mean by what the difference between advertising and marketing is that when you are looking toward your entire calendar year, that's where your marketing comes in. So when you know the dates of your high school's graduation, when you know the dates of their prom, when you know, Valentine's Day, when you know all of those holidays, you're planning out your marketing strategy and what your marketing strategy is going to be. So if you're trying to push certain products, you know that May typically starts weddings. If we're looking at a typical normal run calendar year, I know 2020 kind of threw us all for a loop, but when you're looking at a standard year and you're looking at seasons, so, May through October now is usually bridal season. So you can come up with a marketing strategy for that and what you're going to push and what you're going to try to sell. When it's graduation season, contacting your local high schools and finding out the dates of their graduation, finding out the dates of what their proms are, that's going to help you put forth a marketing strategy. And that's going to be able to take you throughout the course of a year. And then when you break it down in a simpler or in a smaller time frame, what I do for my business is I sit down on Saturday night or Sunday night and I look toward what our week is going to be. And I plan out what our marketing strategy is going to be. So, upcoming holidays plays a huge part into that marketing plan. If there's not an upcoming holiday, it's marketing how you're going to stay top of mind. So whether it's, just posting, making a demo and posting it, recycling old photos that you've previously done of previous work that you've done and pushing that's what your marketing is.
I don't understand so much the difference between the marketing and the advertising.
So the advertising is actually like when you're bringing your product to market, when you're
so
advertising
what is the
it
marketing
for
then?
selling. So the marketing
deciding
is like
what you're going to advertise?
Correct. So advertising, it's a part of marketing, but it's a very small portion of marketing. It's actually the last step of marketing that you're going to do when you're actually bringing your product to market. I believe the definition is actually when the seller and the buyer meet is the actual form of advertising, like when you're bringing it, when you're actually putting it out there for sale. I know like on TMI, this is another huge way to plan a marketing strategy is Teresa implements all of the funny holidays, like tomorrow's National Chocolate Covered Strawberry Day. When you look for, when you plan out your calendar year and you see all of your, traditional holidays, and then you go forth and you put on your Hallmark holidays. So your Sweetest Day, what would be
Even Mother's
another?
Day or Father's Day would be a.
Yeah, Mother's Day is huge. Yeah, that's, those are traditional holidays. So, that's a part of your marketing strategy. So, come April, right after Easter, you're going to start hitting Mother's Day hard. And that's going to go forth with your marketing plan. Like, this is what we're pushing toward, for marketing.
Steve put it very
Advertising
succinctly in the comments. If I could interject real quick, Steve put it really succinctly in the comments. Marketing is the plan. Advertising is an action.
Thank you.
Okay, but what else would? Thank you, Steve. What else would you do in marketing that's not? Give me an example of marketing that's not advertising. That's, I guess, what I'm trying to.
What do you mean? So,
In other words, what else is there in marketing except advertising?
So marketing would be like exactly what you talked about, like with the schools, when you know that they have their calendars, like what dates you have the private school,
Right.
and what days they're having their daddy-daughter dance, they're having their ice cream social, they're having their first day of school. You have that planned out. Advertising is when you're actually putting your ad in their calendar. That's your form of advertising.
Okay.
That's your action.
Marketing is when you're planning it, and advertising is the action. I hate to sound like so novice about this, but it's really
no, not at all.
First of all, we've been very blessed. We really hardly advertised until recently because people found us. But now there's every Tom, Dick, and Harry is doing an organic down the block. I have to make myself stand out from the crowd a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe McDreamy will no, just
give you some industry cred, give you some shop cred with McDreamy.
Well, maybe you should stalk his Instagram and you can ask if it's okay.
Oh, that's gonna get me a lot of business.
Reshare the picture.
I do know he turned 55 today. Anyway.
Yeah. It is a little bit tricky to decipher between the two. So it's just, like when you're actually talking about advertising versus marketing, when you're advertising, then you're looking at your different avenues. So your Facebook, your TikTok, your Instagram, your Google Words, all of that kind of stuff falls under advertising,
right?
To figure out how you're going to get your product out there and what avenues you're going to use to do that. Marketing is your plan.
Okay.
So a big thing, and this is, I have started asking around to a lot of people. I'm like, how far in advance do you order your inventory for holidays? So we all know the next big holiday coming up is Valentine's Day. When you're planning out your marketing strategy for the year, you're going to know in December, you want to start ordering your stuff for Valentine's Day. So whether you're going to make demos, you're going to picture them, and then you have your plan. We're going to start bumping it out, pushing it out on this day. Same thing for graduation season. When you have a marketing plan, it makes it easier for you to be able to make sure that you have those things in stock and you're not scrambling around 2 weeks before
to get school colors
and to get school colors and different things like that.
So marketing would be, I plan to do school the Clifton Public School graduation.
Right.
Advertising would be sending them something or trying to get in touch with them or something like that. And the marketing would be planning what I want to do and having ideas that I want to show them.
And another part of marketing is figuring out how much of your company dollars you're going to allocate toward advertising. So that's another huge thing. I know some people do it percentage wise. They'll, look at what their overall sales were for a month and they'll allocate 10% of their dollars toward marketing and advertising. So that's another part of marketing. You have to, looking toward, hey, we did this last year and we really didn't get a lot of hits on it. Let's start figuring out what we're going to do and how we're going to run it and how we're going to track our ROI on this ad that I paid for or I'm going to boost this Facebook post and let me track my ROI on it. That's all a part of marketing.
Okay. Thank you.
Seth Harding interjected here with the when, where, and how is the plan, aka the marketing. The advertisement is the final step, or as Steve put it, the action.
The action.
Okay.
And I cheated. I asked my friend Google, and she says, in basic terms, marketing is the process of identifying customer needs and determining how best to meet those needs. In contrast, advertising is the exercise of promoting a company and its products or services through paid channels. In other words, advertising is a component of marketing. So,
okay, so
hopefully that clears that up for
branding,
people.
do we think that branding goes hand in hand with both or either? Like when you're thinking about like
definitely
your,
a part of
your
marketing.
brand, like do you think that
Yeah.
it's more like, but do you think it's more targeted towards marketing or more targeted towards advertising, or just evenly to like it's just there all the time?
I think it's both, because branding is part of your marketing, I think, from what I understand. In other words, who you want to present and how you want to present yourself and stuff like that. And the advertising, if you don't show your brand, like how are they going to know who to come? Like my
Right.
new name tags that I just got.
Your
I'm
branding
so
is
excited
definitely
about this new logo.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I'm like playing with it
Love
all
it.
over, and we just ordered little name tags. So
If you don't have a firm grasp on what your brand is, you don't really have anything to advertise,
right.
right? Otherwise, you're just advertising the same product that everybody else is advertising.
right.
What you want to advertise is like your brand, what you
Marketing
have
is
to offer.
making your unique spin on it. Is that so?
No,
Let's say
marketing is your plan.
marketing is your plan, and advertising is your implementation of the plan.
Yeah.
Correct. So let me give you a perfect example.
Clicking
And
the
this
button.
is, you guys know that I love Jill Shortreed. So this was something that, you know, she had taught in one of her trainings. So Jill does a lot of car dealerships, or I'm sure she does them. I know that there was some, you know, issues over 2020, but she would sit there and she would look at, you know, when they were doing their semi-annual sale, when they were releasing their new models of cars, when all these different days were where each one of her dealerships were, and she would write them down on a calendar. That's her marketing plan. Then when she hits them with her demos, or when she's writing the email, hey, I know you're having your semi-annual sale, let's get something on the books for you for showroom decor. That's her advertising. That's her action that she's acting on.
Okay.
But when she's sitting down and she's looking and she's saying, I know that these events are happening, or I need to find out when these events are happening, that's a part of your marketing strategy.
She once said in a class that she looks through the paper every day to see what's coming up, and this country club is having their annual gala, and this place is having a sale, like you said, and that's so that would be a marketing plan, to even go through the paper every day.
Right. So I'll sit down. I have an online calendar. I also have a paper calendar because I like tangible things. I like to, and I never throw away my calendars from the year before. So I always have them to reflect back on. And I know, okay, it's got to be one of these days, because sometimes dates change. So specifically when you're talking about graduations, they can change from one year to the next based on snow days, based on whether, you know, last year's date fell, you know, now is falling on a Saturday.
When Labor Day started, as to how many
exactly
days they have.
You know, Valentine's Day always changes. You know, this year it's on a Sunday. Well, so I know that Friday, Saturday, Sunday leading up to it, this is what I'm going to do. This is what the plan is. And then you have to say, you know, your marketing plan is, all right, on January 14th, we're going to start pumping out Valentine's Day stuff, and figuring out, we're going to allocate it toward Facebook ads. We're going to boost a post. We're going to run an ad in a paper. We're going to do a print. You know, I know some people send out postcards. So you kind of, that's your plan. That's your strategy.
Okay. Sounds like I've already learned something. We could go home.
I feel like the guys put it in so like, they like streamline everything, and you know, it takes me 10 times to get to that.
Does anybody pay to boost their post?
I have. I don't do it often, but
on Instagram or Facebook?
Both.
On
either.
Facebook. I don't do a lot on Instagram. My Instagram accounts and my Facebook accounts are linked directly together. It's definitely something that we're going to look into for 2021. We just had our website go live last night, which I'm super excited
It's your
about.
first website?
My first website,
Oh,
yes.
that's
It's been
exciting.
there's been a lot of drama. We hired a company to do it for us. Over the course of 2020, the company ended up folding, and um,
Your
after
money in
talking
their pocket, I'm guessing.
a lot of money, a
Oh
lot
my gosh.
of my money in their pocket. And after talking to our attorney, he's like, you can take them to court if you want to. He's like, you're going to end up spending more money. So that was a big pill to swallow. So we started over from scratch. Definitely had a few battle wounds from that. So I decided that I was going to do it myself. And I'm not a web page designer, so it took me a little bit longer, but I finally got it done last night. Published. I made a few tweaks to it late last night after getting some feedback, because it went live when I was on the Tuesday with Tony call last night.
Oh,
So
I would
everyone,
look that.
everyone kind of quickly jumped on, and I got some really, really great critiques from, people that I have a lot of respect for. So we went ahead and I made those adjustments really quick and then pushed it out yesterday. So I love it. I keep looking at it. I keep pulling it up on my phone. Keep
You have
typing it in.
Do you have a shopping cart on your website?
I don't. So
We do not either.
I didn't want to do an e-commerce site yet. It's definitely something that I want to do in the future, but I am a one-woman show. And I just kind of wanted to get my feet wet first before I was taking that on, because that's a whole nother can of worms. You really have to have a very good organizational system. You have to make sure that, you're
Nothing,
updating stuff.
and
Just,
nothing falls
that's
through the
another thing.
cracks. And
As you're running out of inventory, you have to make sure that you go onto that site and that you're updating stuff when it's out of stock, because if that customer puts it in their cart, they're expecting to get that design. And if you're out of purple unicorn heads, you're going to have to call your customer and let them know. So I just kind of wanted to do this first. We do have some really, really exciting things that are going to be taking place on Friday. So I probably will end up putting a separate page up on the website. And instead of having, all of my designs for sale, there's just going to be a select few designs that people are going to be able to purchase. So I will add that page on. So I'm going to have to kind of navigate through that, but we just got the go ahead today. So I'm waiting for marketing images and stuff from the company that we're partnering with. And
Now, have you
awesome.
begun
Yeah.
like sharing your website in like the Facebook mom groups and that kind of thing? Does anybody else do that? I know I do that. Like if I do an outdoor display, something that the public can come see, I'll take a picture of it and I'll share it in my mom groups and go, "Hey y'all, just
Yeah.
so you know
I
that this will
used
be
to
up for
I
the next
used
few
to
days."
be in the mom groups, but then I realized that in my area they're looking for a certain price point if you're in that group, or they try to get like the homie deal, and I'm like, but we're not homies. So I just kind of completely left those groups
Yeah,
and
I
left them to
want to have
the other people.
a few people look over it first before I'm sharing it. Like I have a couple of girlfriends of mine, other people within the industry. They're taking a look at it. They're testing all the hotkeys. They're doing the drop down menus to let me know if there's any glitches. I've gone through it. God, I feel
will
5,000
those
times.
designs be purchasable through the website then?
Yeah. So there's going to be 3 different options that they can do. It's just for a specific event that we're running. This is going to kind of be my test pilot for the e-commerce, because I can very easily transfer it over if I want it to be. So there's going to be 3 different options that they can pay for, and then they'll be they can add it to a shopping cart and then it'll be linked. I'm thinking I have the option of doing a PayPal link, which I'm not too fond of that. So I want to check into that first. I would rather it go to directly to our Square. We use Square for our POS system.
Right.
So that's on my to-do list for tomorrow. It's going to go, I want everything to be done and to go live by Friday. So that's on my to-do list for tomorrow. And we'll introduce the website tomorrow as well. I'm waiting for a few more people to give me some feedback and give me the go ahead. And yeah, you have no spelling errors, grammatical errors. All the hot buttons are working.
Yep.
Where do the hot
it's
buttons
exciting.
lead? Like, what do you?
So there's like when you first sign on, I have a pop-up that comes up and it says there's a picture. I just got a vector photo of the love balloon, the love script balloon. I think it's a North Star one, if I'm not mistaken. And it says got Cupid, and it says the deals have never been sweeter with our Valentine's Day sales.
Very cute.
And then there's a link on there and it says show me more. And so when they click on that link, it brings you to a Valentine's Day page. And I need to, that's one of the things I have to do tonight. I have to upload some different options for Valentine's Day.
So
I haven't exactly figured out what the heck we're going to do yet, but
when you get this set up, how are you going to be, marketing it or advertising it? Other than
So
just, once you have the website up, how are you going to make sure that it's getting into
the right hands?
Yeah, in front of your customers.
We're going to post it. It's going to start, obviously we'll post it to our Facebook page and our Instagram page. We are actually transitioning over from people being able to comment and send us private messages via Instagram and Facebook. I don't want to deal with Messenger anymore. I don't want people sending me messages. So there's going to be an automatic message that pops up with our website link on there, and it's going to direct them to our contact form. So it's going to direct traffic to our website.
Doesn't work. They don't want to do it.
People will fight it. They fight it.
They're not going to they're not going to get balloons.
Well,
that's definitely one of the hardest things, even when just starting to do the no contact balloon deliveries. Like I have now 2 active websites. One is my regular Vegas balloon for all the regular stuff that we do, and then all of the deliverables that I do. I actually put that all on a it's the same website. I'll send it to you, Stephanie, the one that we use for it, because it's the same one that I sell my mask on. And it allows me to be able to put inventory on there. So like right now, I have one piece that was up there. Somebody just ordered my last cupcake that I have on hand, and it automatically pulls that off of the website and lets me know, hey, by the way, this is like, you don't have this on your website anymore. Like I have one on hand, but I like to keep 2 on hand.
Yeah, you want to have a spare.
So that I have a spare. So it's like, I have one, so I have none as far as I'm concerned.
Do you have a point of sale system that links to your website? Like, do you have an inventory system?
It's all built into the website that I use, and it all it goes. They automatic, like it's just like buying from. So the whole thing that we ended up doing, and the thing that I've been marketing lately has been the no contact balloon deliveries, because I figured out that a lot of people are so used to now being able to shop online and just click and they're done, that I'm like, I think I can sell some delivery balloons this way instead of having to make a contract and do everything's automated. So you go to the website, you scroll through, and I have everything by different price points. And so you click on the price point that you want to be in, and it comes up with all of the options. And so like the one that I just did was a dinosaur one. And so they will go to that dinosaur balloon, they click it, they scroll down, they let me know what delivery day they want it on, what time they want it on. And in some of them, I let them have the option as to what color they want the numbers to be. But for the most part, it's like what you see in the picture is what you get, because that's what I keep on hand. And so then I keep that inventory on hand. So any of the specialty Mylars that you see in any of my pictures, I have those on hand. So that way I know that I can definitely sell one. For the most part, most of them I say on there, like you have to order 4 days in advance. But the reality is I have all of that on hand. But if something happens, like I bought 2 dinosaurs and they both ended up being faulty. One of them, the nozzle on it, I couldn't inflate the balloon. I couldn't inflate it. There's no way to inflate it. And then the second one had 2 like holes in it in different places, one on the front and one on the back. So I ended up being able to patch that with glue dots and just, kind of make it work. But it's like, holy cow. So that was both of my dinosaurs. But yeah, they add it to their cart. They check out, it processes, send me an email, says, hey, here's this person ordered a delivery. And it gives me
how do you market
address.
that? how do people find that? How do they know that you do
Yeah, I
that?
was gonna say, like, it sounds like we could probably make a whole episode on setting up an
I do that.
e-commerce cart.
Right.
I do that via my Instagram. So anytime that I put something up and it's something that's available on that website, I will say, like, here's this celebration number that I made. Do you want to order yours? Go to vegasballoondelivery.com. And I still get people that will message me and they'll say, hey, I want to order
How much
the,
is it?
yeah, I want to order the
Yeah.
LOL doll. And then I tell them, no problem, you can order it here on the website. And I let them know if they like, and there have been times when people are like, oh, hey, like, we really want this one. But like, somebody asked me, it was the LOL doll, and she specifically asked me for a specific skin tone in the dolls. She said, I would really like that the doll matches and represents my daughter. Can you just make sure that whatever one you pick, looks like her? And it's absolutely no problem, because those LOL dolls, that one, for example, comes with different colors. So when I advertise that one, I say, like, isn't it amazing how you can find so many different, like the LOL dolls are great because they represent everybody, and like, and then I'll put like pictures of the same delivery with two different dolls on there. So I'm I market it towards the fact that, like, it's, there's so many different styles, and I put the website on there. Sometimes people go directly to the website. Every now and then I'll wake up and I've gotten an email and I'm like, ooh, somebody just went to the website by themselves. Like, they didn't message me about it. But yeah, that was something, and we're trying to figure out how to market it, use that website, so that way it's some of the smaller things that I know that I can just drop off, like columns. Like, why am I doing a whole contract for 2 columns? It's it's ridiculous. So putting that on the website and just making sure that every time that I post something on Instagram, and I'm the same way. My Instagram is connected to my Facebook. I don't have that many, like, I don't know how to do Facebook advertising, and I know that in my area there's another balloon person whose manager is amazing at Facebook. Like, she has got Facebook locked down. So I'm going, why am I even going to waste my time? Like,
Right.
it's not, and it's really that thing where, because I'm the one doing it, I'm going, where am I going to focus most of my time? I'm terrible at Facebook. Like, honestly, like, let's call a spade a spade. I go on Facebook because I like to post things and make people angry. So So really, if I'm posting something on Facebook and I'm going, hey guys, like, here's this post that's going to make you super angry. By the way, hire me to come
Buy
do
balloons from me.
I don't think I'm going to get that many customers. So I
Well,
try to
going
keep that.
going back to marketing and
Yeah.
Facebook. So I previously used an app called Planoli, and that would help me with my marketing. So this would help me when I was sitting down with my calendar and I was scheduling out, okay, I know Valentine's Day is this day. Easter falls on this weekend, 4th of July, graduation, so on and so forth. You can actually, I was utilizing Planoli to automatically send out my posts. And when you have a paid subscription to them, you can do it for up to a year. So that really takes a lot of the guessing game out of it. You can schedule what time of day you want to post, which is another huge thing when this would definitely fall under the advertising category, but you have to figure out those algorithms, and those algorithms are constantly changing. So you really have to monitor what's going on and who's, seeing your post, and you really have to pay attention to those kind of things.
And interacting.
But
Mark, like,
yeah,
getting people to interact with your
Planoli,
post is, yeah.
yeah, so Planoli is a great resource. And like I said, it is a paid subscription. I recently just found out, which just is, I find it to be unbelievable. I was actually on there last week. Facebook, if you download Facebook Business Suite, it actually allows you to do all the same things and more that Planoli was doing, and it's completely free. So when you have when you download, it's completely separate from the Facebook app. It's Facebook Business Suite. Everything, you can link your Instagram account, you can link your Facebook account, you can channel your messages in there, you can schedule posts to go out. And it literally shows you your tracking of how many clicks you got on your post. If you're posting something into your stories, they're called forward clicks, that if people like forward, like
they sent it to
the
someone
new,
else.
Is the Facebook
That
Facebook
keeps,
business
yeah.
app? Is that the new app that they just put out like a few months
Yes,
ago?
it's the
The new
Facebook
one,
Business
yeah.
Suite. Yep.
Okay.
So a piece of advice, if you have a very, very high number of forward clicks, that means that you're being annoying and you need to knock it off because people are trying to get through your stories as fast as they possibly can to see the next person. So stop doing that.
I thought forward means sending it to someone else.
No, forward clicking
Forward
meaning
click.
they're clicking
Oh.
on their screen to forward through.
To go to the next one.
Yeah, like
Another
if
piece of it-
somebody's posting in their story 5 times a day, I'm not going to watch your story.
Correct. So there are a few people who are very, very prevalent on Facebook. And when their story pops up, you know how many stories they have because there's dashes at the top. If you have like 15 up there, people are just going to be clicking, 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 clicking. So the rule of thumb that I have heard is 2 to 3.
Yeah, 2 to 3
You
a
never
day.
want to have more than 2. You really don't want to be like throwing everything on there. You can utilize, if you have a lot of information that you want to give out that day, you can do what's called a call to action. And you can make a call to action story to direct people to your website or direct people to your Facebook page. But real quick, going back to the messengers. So I'm giving my customers, I'm going to start training my customers because that's what you all have to do when you're transitioning or implementing something new within your business. I'm giving my customers 2 weeks. Our Facebook Messenger is going to be completely shut down. So there's a way that if you go into your settings, you can enable your messaging so they don't even have the option to send you a message. And you will have a call to action button on your Facebook profile page where it'll say book now, contact us, or whatever. And you can link your website or however you want them to contact you. You can link it to that.
When
Can
I
you do
even
that
took
on
off,
Instagram?
I took off on my Facebook page how it. I don't know if it's still on there, but I know there used to be a thing where it was like, this is the page owner, and
Yeah.
I took that off because people weren't able to message me on Facebook about business, so they were messaging my personal account about
Yeah.
balloon stuff, and I'm like, no, email
Yeah.
or text. Like it's literally like you can text me. Here's the business line to text. Do not Facebook message me about your balloon order. Like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did
But
want to throw
also-
out real quick that Jessica Zillman says that she loves that app, referring to the Facebook Business Suite.
The business suite.
And
I'll have
Well,
to
she
look
should
at
love it because Jessica's the one who told me about it. Sorry,
Oh.
girl.
And Dina actually
She did.
says that she does that with Instagram. Too many dashes, and she just skips it. And I agree.
And it's like
So-
it's this weird thing with the stories because the thing is that you want to make sure that you're posting at least once in every 24 hours because then your story stays connected. But if you're like you said, like if you're doing like 5 in one day, it's like, oh my gosh, like I don't mind if I go through and I see that it's like, here's this one from this day and this one from the, like it's the next day. But
Right.
like archive some of those. And like I love that Instagram has that feature now where you can put up, like I'll go onto people's pages and look at the different categories. Like I've done that where I categorize things. It's like, here's birthdays, here's weddings, here's this, here's that. And I'll look at that story. I'll look at 27 in that one category because I went to go look for that. So
Right.
you don't have to keep the story going. Like it doesn't, you don't have, like I said, like you don't have to be posting, within that 24 hours, but you want to make sure that you are at least posting every 20, like once a day.
Mhm.
That
That
makes
whole
sense.
story
Does that
thing,
make
I have to
sense?
tell you, is confusing to me. But wait, I'm sorry. I often truly feel like a dinosaur because so much of this is even though it's not new, it's new to me.
It's new for the
It is
stories are new
new,
to everybody.
yeah.
Debbie.
And the stories-
Because
I
the
just-
stories, you
relatively
know what?
new.
The Instagram stories came about because of Snapchat, because Snapchat started getting a huge following, and people, the thing with Snapchat was that you could send somebody a snap and your snap would stay alive for 24 hours.
And
Well,
then it
then
would disappear.
Instagram started doing it to compete with Snapchat because people were
Right.
leaving Instagram because they like that story feature. Well, then Facebook saw it and they're like, oh, well, we see that people are using it here. So, and it's
So
the same
I
thing
often
with
get
yeah,
a
it's new.
notification I often get a notification on Instagram, so and so mentioned you in their story. I can't even always find it. Like, I'm not sure what I'm looking for. I'm gonna have to like find one of you at Float, and you're gonna have
Well,
to.
if you're not connected with them, you're not going to be able to see it.
No, they're
So,
people that I'm connected. In other words, people that we
right.
follow each other.
Well, after so long, that story disappears. So
Okay.
like
Yeah.
if like I
Mhm.
have a client who I absolutely love. She will tag me like in her stories and on her post. And so when I see that she's mentioned me in a story, I repost that onto my story, and that's my post for the day. Is my reposting her
Of
story.
her story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this Facebook business suite, can you say it's an app, but you can get it on the computer as well, right? On your desktop?
Mm,
Or do you
I
have
don't
to
know.
download it on your phone?
Ask Jessica.
I
Is Jessica still on
just
the
Jessica.
downloaded it. Jessica, can you see this
She
on the
literally just
website?
told me about it, and I feel so embarrassed right now that I did not say her name. I just was so excited to be like, wait, because I utilize Plonomi, and we were talking on the phone the other day, and she's like, oh no, girl, like you don't even need that anymore. And I was like, say what? I was like, I pay $15 a month for it. What are you talking about? And she was like, no, like the new Facebook app, like you can just download it right on your phone. I don't know. I would assume that you can get it on your desktop. I wouldn't.
I don't know, because
yeah, I would say you could get
they
it.
have the pages. So I wonder, because the pages app for Facebook, you couldn't access it on the computer. It was only
I
through
will
the app.
investigate and let you all know next week.
Yeah,
I will.
I don't know if Jessica's still in the chat. Maybe it's something that she can enlighten us
Jessica's
on.
gonna have
If
to
I
give
can
us a
interject on
tutorial.
what's been going on in the comments,
Yes.
Yeah.
so on the Instagram thing, Jessica says that she loves the category options. She needs to clean hers up, but she sucks, stresses that, at posting stories, which in the comments I agreed with. I'm like, I don't have the bandwidth to be able to keep up with that. So I felt I haven't posted personally. I have not posted a single story ever
It's
because
difficult.
I felt I felt that it was better for me to just have that be something I did not do versus be something that I did so sporadically that it looked like I was maybe no longer in business or not as active.
We're not
And
alive.
right.
Yeah.
And I have had people hire me before whenever they searched Facebook for a balloon artist because they're like, you actively are posting. There are some people who potentially are actually still in business, but they only post every 3 to 4 months. And so, but
Yeah, that's a
pre-COVID,
no-no. That's a
yeah,
no-no.
pre-COVID, I was striving for at least once a week. The minimum that I would ever post was once a month. And again, for any of you guys that are new, I rely more on like guerrilla marketing and word of mouth marketing because I'm trying not to, it sounds wrong. I'm trying not to get lots of new clients, but I have a nice balance pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, I had a nice balance where I had just enough. And when I would start to get worried, all of a sudden there'd be like a deluge. And so I knew that I wanted to get to, I did not want to be marketing so heavily that I'm having to turn people away because I did not have the capacity to handle all of those. So Bobby, hi Bobby McAvoy. We don't really see her much. She says that she just took the leap and hired somebody for social media marketing.
Good for
We
you,
Couple
that's what we
days.
Bobby.
do.
Yeah,
That's
she
great.
says it's only been a couple days, but it's though a great weight has been lifted off her shoulders, and they're starting slowly. And I think that everybody can pretty much agree. I know that the people who have done that, throwback to my vision board last week, where something's like high importance, but it's not, or say it's urgent but not very important, to delegate it. And that is one of those things that's like, oh gosh, yeah, like if it's so important that you have to keep doing that on the regular, like hire somebody to do it for you.
Mhm.
In the beginning, we thought we could do Instagram by ourselves, and Facebook, but it's just, and I still sometimes occasionally post on Facebook, but I mostly post it on my personal page. But we hired somebody to do Instagram, and that's when we saw this enormous difference because she posts and she knows what to write and she knows the right tags, and it took such a load off and it paid for itself right away.
So
I
how does she
definitely
know
wish that
what
I
to
could-
post
I
in the
could
tag?
hire somebody to
We
do it.
send her pictures. Every single job I do that I take,
Mhm.
I send her a picture and I say, this is so-and-so's bar mitzvah in this town yesterday. Big graduation party, blah, blah, blah. And she doesn't post everything. Some of it she holds back for weeks when we're not so busy. And she
Yeah.
posts it. Sometimes she just chooses something even from a long time ago. She says, oh, like Throwback Thursday or whatever, and she'll post something. She's younger than we are, and she's in marketing. So she has a better feel for this than I do. She also edits our pictures a little when it needs to be. She'll slap our logo on because I like to do that in the corner, not across it so you can't see the picture. And she does our Facebook also, and she's the one who also updates our website. In other words, all these pictures as we send them, not all of them make it to the website because you do not need 45 pictures of columns.
Right.
But she let's say she'll see this one's particularly good, so maybe we'll talk about it and she'll take off something else. We just updated our website as well. So we've done a lot of this trying
And
to
that's
get
also
more
good
into the
to keep
21st
your
century, 22nd,
right.
the 20, yeah, it's the
But
20.
If I could jump in real quick, Stephanie McMillan asked a question about the guerrilla marketing that I mentioned. It's not gorilla, it's guerrilla. And I want to clarify here, not just in the comments, so that way anybody watching on YouTube later would understand. Guerrilla marketing is basically it's almost a little uncouth, really. It's a little bit underhanded, where you're not paying for advertising here and there. Guerrilla marketing is like wearing your branded T-shirt with your logo and your phone number emblazoned on the back to the grocery store all day, every day.
Or
Driving around
to
in
your
van.
Starbucks while
Yeah,
you're in between.
there you go.
And
It's
then somebody might just be like, "Oh, you do balloons?"
right. It's driving around.
T-shirt.
Right. It's driving around in your van that has your van wrap,
your
if you've
logo
got
in
one of
it.
those. It's I started out as a twister, as most of you know. And when I would go twisting, every single table, regardless of if they asked it or not, let me pull it out, I would drop my business card in case you guys ever need me for a birthday party. And on the back, it's got can't really see too much, but it's got some of my more fancier designs of twisted designs that you would never see me twist in a restaurant, because I don't have time. And I'm oftentimes like, I mean, the restaurant's paying me to be there, but I'm twisting for tips. And so I'm not going to spend a half an hour generally on the table when I could be spending 5 minutes on the table and moving around. And I'm dropping, sometimes one or two of these per table. The kids are like, oh, I'm like, oh no, here, you have one, hun, because these are pennies. They cost me pennies. And now the kids have them, and it's like the kids want them. Everybody at the table, everybody get one of these. And
My favorite thing, did you ever do the slap? Did you see the slap bracelets that the Twisters were doing?
Yeah.
I love that idea.
got-
I want one so like I if we ever do twisting again,
right.
I'm definitely doing that because it's the best thing I've ever seen.
You give
The
it to
only
everyone you
reason-
twist for.
The only
No,
reason why I haven't done this
add
is because I
a
want to
bracelet.
rebrand. But you put your company's name on. This has got my friend's business on it, and you make a cute little balloon, and the balloon sits on the bracelet. And rather than having it be on an uninflated balloon that they wear as a bracelet, it's like you put the balloon
or like
on there.
I use hair ties.
And now they have that, and then whenever they take it off, they've got a little bracelet they can wear forever.
So we have nothing goes out of the shop. Well, I shouldn't say nothing.
And then I've seen where I thought about putting it on the hair bands.
Yeah,
so actually, like, but I'm like,
cute.
Can you imagine me sitting here and putting stickers on every single hair? I mean, I've
Oh,
got time
and for
right
a
now.
decorator.
Go to
Steve brought up a good point.
marketing thing and have them printed.
Steve brought up a good point. He said 1 million bubbles could technically be considered guerrilla marketing, and I'm like, that's
For
very
sure.
true.
Yeah, I actually got calls for my big Blue Nevada heart.
Yeah, and
so to put it in a decorator's perspective of guerrilla marketing, because we don't use slap bracelets and things like that. But when you get hired for a baby shower or a bridal shower, and you put your business card at the bottom of every centerpiece,
Nothing goes out without a label.
Yep,
That's
I started
right.
putting my own sticker
Old
on
logo,
stuff.
but
those are your guerrilla marketing tactics. So when you know, at the end of the baby shower, they're going to say, oh, take a centerpiece off the table or whatever. And you have under every single one of them is your business card. That's another
Or a
form of
sticker.
guerrilla
Right,
marketing.
and
I
so
Or
have
a sticker or whatever.
My
You
my
have your
friend told me to
information.
put my Cricut to work, and she said, "How come you're not putting your logo on
Putting
every
signs in
single one
people's
of
yards.
your every single one of your
Oh, I don't make
deliveries?"
them myself. We go to Uline and buy
Yeah,
them.
but if you have, because a lot of people I know do their own. I'm trying to find the
Yeah, but I
picture of the
think
one
it's
that
more,
I do.
I think it would be more expensive to do it that way than to buy 2,000 labels.
No,
and
I
for
can.
decorators,
Another
if
form of
you,
guerrilla
if I
marketing is
could,
if
just
you
real quick, for decorators, if you, you can have your own balloons printed, and you could get clear top print balloons done in white and in black with your company's logo
We
and
do.
or thing, and then, top printed, right? And so then at the bottom of your garland, of your arch,
Mhm.
it's
That's what I
navy
have.
blue, so you insert your navy blue inside of a clear that has the white on it, so that way you have like that stamp at the
Yeah,
base of your,
you
it's
can
like
get
a
that on there.
signature at the base of your.
Ours are not top printed. Ours are what they call upside down print. So that when the balloon is standing with the nozzle at the top filled with sand, which is how we fill our weights, you can
Okay.
use
Yeah.
it that way. And we don't even bother with clear. We get black and black with white print and white with black print, and that goes as the weight of whatever doesn't get a sticker because it's just on a weight. It's not on a tile or something. Is on an imprinted balloon.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
the
our,
Yeah.
clear allows you to stuff it with whatever color you're using in their display.
so I'm saying we don't even bother. We do black and white, and that
But
goes
that's for weights.
for
What
weight.
I'm talking about is for like an actual garland arch, that
You put it
there'll
as
be a
one of the
balloon.
balloons.
One of the balloons at the bottom will have like your signature piece, and it doesn't have to be like right out front and center.
I don't
Yeah,
think
Just
we
that
put.
would be
I put.
acceptable doing that.
I make. I'll just be bored some days, and I take my Cricut, my 12 by whatever sheet, and I'll make about 20 of these
Oh,
out of my
not logos,
scraps.
not stickers. You're talking about on your
It
balloon.
is a sticker. Yeah, it's a vinyl sticker that I made myself
No,
on my
but you put
Cricut.
it on a balloon.
Yeah, it's on the balloon.
So I have like little round stickers that have our logo and our phone number, and that goes on the bottom of
I
every.
have mine. It's my handle. It's my @VegasBalloon. So then if they go to put that on their website, or if they post that on Instagram or whatever, they know, oh, I can tag @VegasBalloon. And I've
Gotcha.
gotten that's been very good, because I've actually had people who weren't the people who bought the piece from me. It was like the aunt or cousin posted the photo of one of the graduate balloons that I did, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we saw your tag on the back of the balloons." And I keep it. It's on the back, on the bottom balloon, so it's not. I don't want it to be tacky.
Okay.
Like I don't want it to be.
When
Yeah.
we were relatively new in business, we had a caterer who said, "Oh, put your business cards on the table." And we like looked at him like, that is so he says, no,
Yeah.
this way it's
Yeah.
advertising. I said, it might be
Yeah.
advertising, but it's just tacky. It's tacky.
And that
Yeah.
was when my
Yeah,
friend first
no.
told me, she was like, just put your Cricut and like put your sticker on there. And I was like, ew, no, I'm not gonna do that. And she was like, no, make it an inch tall,
Right,
and
right.
it's like maybe like 9 inches long, and you just stick it on the bottom of like the very bottom, with your like handle. I was like, oh, I thought you were talking about like put my whole like
Right,
Right.
logo,
like
yeah.
really big on the. She's like, no, just a little tiny like.
Tasteful.
I thought you were
By the
talking about
way,
round
I did
stickers
this.
to,
No, yeah, these are just, and I actually use my scraps of my Cricut,
yeah.
so they come in different colors. So like this was gold and white, so I used the gold on the white balloon. My favorite is the glitter ones, because they stand out really nicely. So the glitter silver ones are my favorite. But yeah, that's a great way to guerrilla market, because now I've advertised to several people at the party.
In the comments, Dina said that she sold an exact replica of one of her 1 million bubbles displays. It was a very big order in April for her. So way to go,
That's great.
Dina. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Flavia and Jessica are both on the sticker train. Flavia orders hers in bulk, and Jessica says that she puts a sticker on the bottom of every balloon weight, which is great. I don't generally work with helium unless I'm working through somebody else, so I wholeheartedly agree that that's.
No, but we put it on the bottom of even air-filled stuff. We put it on the bottom of the top, whatever.
Yeah.
And we get ours in Uline. We order like 2,000 at a time, and they're really not expensive. And we used to order them in like silver, and we just order them all in silver with, I think, I don't remember. I can look. And
One of the things that goes back to marketing though, I do want to say is the reason why I'm able to put my @Vegas Balloon on there is because through all of the social media that I use, that's my handle. And so when I was looking at my name, I got that handle. There's only one place I don't have it, and it's Twitter, and I don't use Twitter. So that's something like when you're looking to do a lot of your marketing, like make sure that when people know what to tag you as, because
Right.
they'll do a lot of advertising for you.
Oh,
But
yeah.
make sure that it's like if you're on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, I have a Vegas balloon TikTok that I only use for balloon decor. That's separate from my Ronnie the Balloon Girl TikTok. But yeah, like I made sure like these are the places where I show up. I have a Snapchat for it. I never use it, but I did get a notification that somebody like tagged me in a snap, and I was like, I don't know what that means.
So real
whenever
quick,
I leave
going
a
back.
party, I tell them, if you're gonna post it on social media, tag me at Inflated Creations.
Mhm.
See, I know that. Oh, I'm not such a I'm a baby dinosaur.
You were saying, Stephanie?
So going back to the 1 million bubbles, and this would go into your marketing strategy, which ultimately will end in advertising. And it's can be considered a form of guerrilla advertising for sure. Is when, coming like right now in Chicago, we're not doing a lot of outdoor installs, but I know come March and April, we are going to be. So a part of our marketing plan is to get outdoor signs. So the yard signs. So anytime you do a yard art or an install in somebody's front yard, then you have your sign that you put. So that's a part of like our marketing plan. We're researching, where those are going to be the cheapest to get. I don't mess around with my Cricut for advertising stuff because I don't have time for that. I use it for custom balloons. So all the other stuff I outsource.
Will you pick those up?
It depends. It depends on if it's a breakdown. I mean, obviously, if I'm putting an arch in somebody's yard, I typically don't go back to a lot of my yard art stuff because most of it I make is disposable. A lot of it is party poles or a couple of columns and, lettering. So I'm definitely going to have to look into the cost of it, but that's a part of our marketing plan for 2021.
That's a cool
I've
idea.
seen.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I'm tossing around the idea, like when a landscaper comes out and they fertilize your yard or they do some sort of treatment on your yard and they have the flags, like just the
Yeah.
cloth, little flyaway
pesticide
flags.
installed, but
Yeah, I was thinking about looking into some of those because when you actually have the the ones that are staked in the
H frame
corrugated,
stakes
like the core, and they're
with the
made out of the
coroplast.
corrugated plastic. Yeah. Obviously, if you have some big, beautiful, like what Dina was saying, it was a direct replica of her 1 million bubbles, or even when she was putting her 1 million bubbles display in her front yard. If it's a huge, beautiful arch that you did and it's lots of stuff, I would say it's probably worth the $7 or $8 that you're going to spend on that yard sign to put a nice yard sign. If you're popping up a party pole, and depending on the price of your party poles, I think most people's it ranges between $55 and $75. Maybe you're upward of that, and you just pop a couple of flags in. People can actually take the flags with them.
But do you think maybe that the people who have ordered the decor might not want your sign in their lawn?
Well, of course, you always have to ask for permission.
No, but do you think
it's no
that
different
most people
than
will say they don't care, or most people think it mars the beauty of the decor?
No, you put it off to the side. You're not going to put it in front of their, in front of it. Yeah. It's just like how when you watermark your photos, you're going to make it, in a position where it's not going to affect the overall aesthetic. What am I trying to say? I can't think of what I'm trying to say.
No, I hear what you're saying.
And Flavia did bring up a point, like, it would be considered like maybe tacky though, that like people are paying you to put in a display, and I get what she's saying. I think we really need to be tasteful with the placement and the size.
Like you do, yeah.
And I see it more often, I think, with yard card installations, where it's it's like that this yard has been carded, by so and so, and like these are the, and it'll have like almost kind of like the rules which is just, it's more tongue in cheek than anything. But it's a little bit of guerrilla marketing in there, where it's not part of the display so much as if you were to take a photograph of whatever it is with the house, it's not like your logo, your your
Right.
rules are like emblazoned right in front of you, like something that's maybe closer to like the mailbox or something. So I'm gonna be
Yeah,
going,
because when I
I
see
wonder
when
who
I've
did
seen those,
this.
yeah, when I've
Yeah.
seen those the yard
I know a lot
cards,
of people who do
it's
them. I
always
don't
like
think that
up
it's
in
tacky at
front and
all.
like in front and to the left. So when you
Yep.
take
Yeah,
the photo, it's
yeah.
that card is not
I'm
in
not
there.
thinking, no, I'm not thinking tacky at all. I'm thinking whether the person
If
might.
you stick it right in front of it where it's going to
Well,
be in
then
the
it-
photo,
Well,
yeah,
think
that
about
would
it this way,
definitely
So
be
at the end of the
tacky.
day, you
We
ask
spend
permission.
Of
we
course,
Yeah,
I
you
get
spend
want to
permission.
ask permission for sure.
You
but we
ask
spend
permission.
$10,000 to $20,000 to have roofers come and put a new roof on our house, and they stake their company out in our front yard all through the construction. There's no difference. It's just like, oh,
You're right.
hey, those
Everybody
people,
does
they
it.
do good work. They're in our
It's
neighborhood.
something I never thought of it. That's all.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you some peace of mind, Debbie. I first of all ask permission if you can
Yeah.
put your advertising. That would be.
Of course you would ask.
I feel like that should go without saying if you can
Absolutely.
post something in
That I
somebody's
would've done.
yard. And I guarantee you, 99% of the time, your customers are going to be more than happy to allow you to stick a sign in your yard so that you can continue to grow your business. They're going to want to support you. They're going to want their neighbors to know where they had their child's beautiful balloon arch done from. And
Right.
it's going to be a complete non-issue.
What
It's
size
like
are
when the
you
mom asks you, they if you I've done so many deliveries and so many things where the moms are like, make sure you leave me business cards because people are
Right.
going to be asking where I got
Absolutely.
this from.
What size sign are you thinking? Like, are you thinking of like a 4x6, like a foot by a foot? Like, what do you? I'm trying to get my bearings about what I would want to do.
It could just be something. I mean, it could be
Like
an
1 by
8x8. I mean, obviously, you're going to want it to
I
be
would think like
something
a sheet of paper, like an 8x11.
Yeah,
Like
it
an
can
8
be
or
a
a
sheet of
foot by a
paper.
foot or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be I mean, you're not posting a
I
billboard in
want to
their
put a
front yard.
billboard in.
Right.
Right. I mean, it's
So I'm
something
gonna
very
put a
tasteful.
billboard and then put garland around it.
Around it, right.
That's
I'm
gonna be
gonna
my
put the
next.
garland
Right.
around my
That's gonna be my next one.
So
I'm gonna get a
the peanut
billboard.
gallery got really active on this one. Jessica says that 95% of people don't care. They only had one person take a sign out of the yard, but honestly, she thinks it was stolen. Robin Veach says that she places her
Hi,
signs
Robin.
out of photo reach, which I really
There
like
you go.
that.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
good
what I would
idea.
do.
Okay.
I like
Yeah,
that
that's
phrasing where
definitely-
you could
yeah,
tell your
photo
client,
reach.
I'm
I
going
like
to put
that
it out of
phrasing
photo
also.
reach.
Yeah.
And as close to the sidewalk whenever possible.
That's
And
a
Jessica
smart
says they have a super small one that they do. Tasteful but not obnoxious.
Yeah.
Robin Veach says 5x7. I'm assuming she means inches.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Jessica
Yeah,
says
for
hers is
sure.
8x8. She thinks so. Yeah. So you're talking
I think that
smaller
an
than a piece
8x8
of
is a good
paper.
size.
Yeah, that's a sheet of
Yeah.
paper. Yeah.
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 I wouldn't do
just-
do any bigger than a standard piece
It's
of
just
paper.
it's just a little something, you know. I would say, I mean, you would probably even be safe to going like, I don't know, 8x12, 8x, if you had like a
Like a real
rectangle
sheet of
one.
paper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like a
mean,
piece
but
of
then, like I
legal.
said, if you really have to decide, and it's just personal preference. Like you have to
Right.
decide.
No,
I'm
I
not
like
gonna,
that idea. I think it's a great
Right.
idea to let people know where this beautiful decor came from.
right.
Right.
I know
I
that
just
there's
was
other
I was
people.
sort of going through your thought process. That's what I wanted to.
Yeah. I know that there's other people. I've seen it on a few Facebook pages that I'm on where they have their business cards and they'll stake like 5 little business cards in the ground so people can like grab them as they're walking by. I'm not super fond of that. I know that it works very well for other people.
A friend of mine said she buys magnets for the business cards. You can buy like you stick them on your business card, and she used to
Yeah.
drive around with like 20 of them on her car, and whenever she parked, there'd be 2 or 3 gone because they pulled them off the car. And
There's
that's
a face
Right.
painter that does that here. She has the cute little thing on the back of her car, and it's like, take one. And I had one when I used to do a 31, and it was like, oh, do you like my purse? Here's my, like, you can order from me. And I had the little thing on the back of the car.
I know a balloon person in Houston, Texas, and she actually has drilled into the door of her car. Now, on the side of her van,
My husband
in the
would kill
back,
me.
she's got like balloons all over, balloon graphics all over the side and back of her van. And she actually drilled into the passenger and driver's side door of her car and attached a like flip the lid and reach in and
Yeah, that's
grab
what
a business card, like an
Oh,
actual paper
wow.
business card out.
Yeah.
And I'm
That's
like,
what I
I
used
don't
to
know that
have.
I'd ever actually do that.
I would do
to my
I
mail.
own
didn't need
personal
Some
vehicle.
magnetic
I
versions
didn't
of
need to drill in the back. Mine actually, like, well, I was able to find one on Etsy. I found an Etsy seller that sold super strong magnetic one, and I
Yeah.
stuck
Okay.
it on the back of my my old SUV, and it stuck back there, and like it came with the guarantee of like if it falls off, like just let me know. But that sucker was on there, like it was nice and on
And
there.
like
It
I
was
said,
the
even
flip
if you have
thing,
the
and
cards on
it
that
had
thing,
it had my paper cards in it, and they stayed like fine through the car wash, through everything. That thing was amazing. I forgot to take it off when we traded in the car. I was so mad at myself.
If there was another like who guessed it first contest, Steve Jones definitely won this one. Yes, it is Pat Croslin, and people do absolutely take her business cards right off of her door.
Oh
They
yeah.
see her van and
Steve, if you
go
mention
for a card.
something random, Steve will always know. Except I
He's
caught him.
I know.
Remember last week I said my elephant was where Tommy stood under the elephant at IBAC, and I
Yeah.
actually messaged him, and I should have put it that I could share my screen. He actually sent me a picture of him standing under the elephant, not under,
Yeah.
like as a certain producer of Float said that it was. So one for me.
And Flavia,
975 for Steve, but one for me.
yeah, Flavia, she did do it on both sides, and I would too. Like in for a penny, in for a pound. Like why not put it on both sides?
If you're drilling into your car, like what's the difference?
Yeah, go for
Right?
it.
Just even it out. Just have holes on both sides.
And so
I feel like we need to have a disclaimer that like rolls across the screen. Like we do not recommend this.
Yeah, don't.
yeah, I'm
don't.
curious whether she did
I
it
mean, do
herself.
whatever you
Although-
want. It's your yeah, like look, it's your car. You can do whatever you want
If
to.
it's a
But
lease, you certainly don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And
Why don't you
Steve's
just
commenting
open the
about how you
side
just
door?
threw him under the bus, Debbie.
What? What did you
Steve
say?
just commented about how you threw him under the bus.
Oh, come on. I said, I have one and you have 975. I don't think that's throwing under the bus. Maybe it's throwing under a tricycle.
A tricycle.
So we're kind of like getting down to the end. Is there anything we really wanted to hit on? I did want to talk about gift certificates just real briefly. I've done them before for like PTA fundraisers and that kind of thing. Where I've made like a small balloon display and I've given a gift certificate like to be auctioned off or something like that.
Right, me too.
I have yet to have
Anybody?
one single person cash in
That's
a
right.
gift certificate. I did have one person try to. It was terrible because I already had like an event I was flying to planned, and it was going to be good. It was like, look, I'll give you 1 hour into a 2-hour event. Like that was what the gift certificate was for. You book a 2-hour event, you get an hour free. And they called me and they're like, Lisa, he's like, it's my 40th birthday. And he's like, we're getting his party bus. And this is a kind of a business contact that I know, owns his own bar and that kind of thing. And he's like, we're ordering a party bus and we're going to tour the wineries of the Finger Lake region, and we want to take you with us. Like, will you come with us and like twist balloons? But it'll be like a 4-hour long trip, but like we're gonna pay your way into anything and everything just as long as there's like balloons involved. And I was like, yeah. And then they give me the dates, and I was like, so
That would have been a fun one.
drats. But other than that, like I have had people buy gift certificates for Christmas presents and things. And I hand them the gift certificate and I handed them like a bag of balloons and some pumps. And, they paid me in the hundreds of dollars for that because it was supposed to include some, hands-on instruction. And I never heard from them from the hands-on instruction. Like they paid hundreds of dollars for like 2 assortments and two pumps. And I just never heard from them again. And so it's just, I am ready to deliver if they do ever call me. Whenever it comes to like school functions and stuff, I always put an expiration date on it that
And
it needs to be
restrictions
booked
apply.
by.
You have to,
Yes.
especially like your winery tour, you have to put on it restrictions apply.
Right. And it does say that, subject to artist availability. And it's like,
Oh,
because
We
I,
have
I
that.
can't,
We have that on ours.
Yeah.
I can't, but I don't find those to be a particularly good um investment of my time and expenses. But if people call me, sometimes I'll go ahead and throw something their way, but it never really comes back to me. What about you guys? Anything on gift
Also,
certificates, charity giving, donations?
have giving.
Oh my gosh, we do a
did
lot.
some charity. Yeah, we did some charity like donation things, and I will never. I don't mind doing decor for their event, their fundraising event, but I will never ever donate something for their like auction or whatever ever again, because the people who end up winning the auction and they don't seem to understand that it's like, here's the price sheet. You have X amount of dollars that you can that have been allotted to you, and they always want to go like so far up and above, and they have been the biggest pain in the butt customers that I have had. And so I'm like, no, you can have whatever you want for the event. There's 3 charities that I am like, you can have whatever you want. I don't like, I will bend over backwards to give you whatever you want, because they're like near and dear to my heart. But when they ask for something for their like donation table or something, I'm like, no, thank you, I can't.
Yeah.
I tell them,
Steve,
I tell them exactly what's happened. I'm like, no, it's come back to bite me in the butt, and I can't do it.
Yeah, Steve pointed out that if it's a promotional gift certificate, you can put an expiration date, but if they bought it, you cannot, which is kind of what I was
Right.
saying. I do have an expiration whenever it's like for charitable giving kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But and I am prepared if anybody ever calls me to fulfill that.
Yeah, but
But
they never do.
they generally don't.
But I've gotten
Flavia
gift
said,
certificates that I also haven't called in on.
yeah, and
It's a
Flavia said that she had one
different
come back and they tried to cash it last minute on New Year's. She told her she
Oh.
couldn't, and the person was pissed. And I was like, that's rude, y'all.
Yeah, like no.
That's asking too much.
So
So, what about our wonder of the week, Debbie Levy?
So I am actually our wonder. I'm just a font of things this week. What can I tell you? Though I didn't know about McDreamy until this afternoon. But that's still the high point of my week for sure. But I'm my wonder of the week. I am actually the wonder of the week this week. And it fits in with our marketing thing, because we were all talking about trying to funnel and channel our customers to not message us on all these different things like Instagram and Facebook. I'm going to take that Facebook thing that Stephanie said and do that. And it's very difficult for me. And people message us on, we just created a message that on Instagram, it doesn't go automatically. On Facebook, it goes automatically to a message. It tells them to either call or go to our website and fill out the form. On Instagram, you can't do that, at least to my knowledge. And you have to like press something that opens the thing that I send to them. So we got a few messages this week, and it was really like a couple of them were in the middle of the day, and I really could have just answered, that arch that you're sending me a picture of is, and I said, no, I want to train my customers. So I went to that little 3 dots and I pressed it, and there was my message, and I clicked it. And I do have to tell you, I never heard from any of them. But I'm not sure that if I would have told them this arch is $450, I would have heard from them either. I often get messages on Instagram that I answer, and you never hear from them either. And I feel like stuff, I think I said this in the first episode, stuff is falling through the cracks because I cannot keep up with the myriad different ways that people can get in touch with me. So if they email me, I know I look at my email, not to say that I don't ever lose anything there either. I'm sorry, Judy, this is your shout out for the day. But an email, at least I can find. Messages I can't even always find. They get buried somewhere. And Facebook Messenger is like in some, for my business page, it's in some nether region somewhere. So I am very, very proud of myself, even though it's not a picture or it's not something I overcame in that way. I feel I really overcame my giving nature, which is to, oh, of course you could call me at 11:15 at night. No. And I pressed that button. And she also, we heard from her at 2:00 the next afternoon. Could I have your phone number? Which I texted her, but she never called either. So, but I'm very proud of myself that I'm trying, even though I'm a dinosaur, folks, I'm trying to become a phoenix and rise from the ashes of my elderliness.
Good
How
plug.
do you
Good
like
plug.
that, Steve? Did I make up for what I did before?
All right, guys. Speaking of the Wonder of Week, congratulations, Debbie. That is an
Oh, yes.
awesome story. We want to hear from you guys. So if it's something that you have done that you're feeling great about, something that you've triumphed over, a new system that you've implemented in your business, or a gorgeous design, we want to hear about it. So send us your Wonder of the Week stories to floatworkingwonders@gmail.com, and we will highlight one of you guys on our show.
Yay.
And so it's me. It's my turn now. I just want to close the show by thanking everybody for joining us again tonight. It was so nice to have y'all here. We really enjoy the audience participation. So thank you. Thank you for
We love it
returning.
when you check
Thanks,
back.
guys.
Yeah, we had some new faces tonight, I think, or names, and really appreciate y'all chiming in. So please join us next week where our topic is going to be job prep. We're going to be walking you through what we personally do in our businesses from the time the call comes in until we execute, and maybe we can all pick up on some tips and tricks together. So we'll see y'all next week, okay?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.